So I'm planning on this being a super quick video, so we'll see how it goes. But I mostly just wanted to update you guys on the figurine that I talked about in like 2 videos ago. Instead of waiting for getting to this particular week in my what sold videos, I thought I would just update you that it's sold, as a matter of fact. And it actually ended up selling for $450. So I told the story in that last video about finding it at the thrift store, and it was on half price day. I paid $2.50. It was a Royal Doulton figurine. And so I knew it had some value. I did a quick Google search while I was in the store, and auction sites were coming up. So it was kind of giving me a good feeling. But with that brand name and the low price, I brought it home because I was going to take a chance on it. I shared in that video that the research showed that it was quite valuable. And, you know, it's funny because I'm also on Facebook, and so I share a lot of things that I find on there. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of people on there who don't believe you. Even if you're sure to include comps and things like that, they just see Royal Doulton and they're like, that's a $40 figurine, right? So I was happy about a week later to be able to kind of prove them wrong and show that the comps really don't lie if you do your research correctly. So the buyer was someone who had actually bought one of the ones that was in the comps. And so he asked if I would just price match, because I had decided not to do an auction. I went ahead and listed it a little bit higher. I think I listed it at like $699 and somewhere in there. And I knew I was going to take offers. I immediately got like $100 offer, $150 offer. A few of those I just declined. I didn't even counter. And then a couple days went by. It was pretty quiet. And I would say it was only listed, by the time I got it listed, it was only listed like 4 days or something like that. And then I got a message and he said, I bought one of these, you know, for $450. And he showed the picture, which I recognized from the comps. And he's like, would you match that price? And I said, sure enough. And so I sent him an offer. He was like, you know, said he would send me an offer, but I sent him the offer. He bought it. Now, he was technically overseas. He lived overseas, so I'm sure he's going to pass this on to someone else and hopefully make a little bit of profit as well. But all I had to do was get it shipped to somewhere in Oregon. I just had to get it to like a freight forwarder company there. So once, you know, that's there and that transaction is done, then we're done. Whatever happens after that is out of my hands. So I was happy about that. So I always love a quick flip. It was basically, I found it on a Thursday and it sold a week later on a Thursday. So it can't hurt to have like a quick flip like that. But I wanted to also make this video because I found something else like really good this weekend when I went out thrifting. But I'll get to that in a second. I just thought I would share instead of doing like, here's my whole haul, everything I found, because I got to do yard sales and I got to do some like a rummage sale. I went to some thrift stores. So I actually have sourced way too much over this past weekend, but it was, for me, it was my first weekend able to do yard sales again. So I wanted to be able to do that. So I'll just share a couple things I picked up at yard sales and thrift stores that I just thought were noteworthy that I would share. And then I'll share the exciting one that we're going to like try to figure out how we're going to sell that one next. Okay. So let's just start with this fun little set that I got for $4 at kind of an estate yard sale. And I'll show you the tag up close. You can see it's got some age to it. It's Faye Creations and it's Patio Fashions, Tucson, Arizona. Okay, so if you can see, here's the cute little top, and then the skirt is like a full, big old full circle skirt kind of thing. So I think it's 40s or 50s, somewhere in there, probably 50s. And it was so funny because I recognized the tag when I saw it. And they'll call this in the listings a patio set, like it says on there, Patio Fashions, like patio set. And they're usually, a lot of the ones I was seeing online were a lot more colorful than this. But this is gray, it's metallic, all the rickrack and things like that, it's metallic. So I think it might, you know, it should still do okay. And I was trying to remember, like, why do I know this tag? Like, why have I researched this before? And so I searched in my Gmail to see if there was a, like, did I find this before? I think maybe it was only the top. And knowing me, it's completely likely that the top is still somewhere in my storage. Like it's still in my profit pile somewhere. Because I think it did show that the sets did better, right? The top and the bottom together, the whole patio set like did better. So I have a feeling that's why I researched it at one point. But anyway, who knows? Maybe I researched it in the store and then I didn't end up buying the top. Who knows? I wonder about myself sometimes. But okay, so that was kind of fun. $4. I'm going to shoot for like $50 or so. Let me know if you think I should go higher. Condition seems to be pretty good. It's a little musty smelling. But like I said, it's not super colorful like a lot of the ones I've seen on there. But we'll see how it does, okay? All right, so then here's another interesting find. Anyway, okay, so Kotex tampons. These are from 2004. Yes, they're from 2004. So older feminine products can sell, right? As you can see, I paid 50 cents for these. And the reason I noticed them and picked them up at the sale, let's see, they're Super Plus, which is good. But the reason I picked them up at the sale was because I just listed a whole lot of, it's a little bit of a different line, a little bit newer. It's You by Kotex, but they discontinued that. And these might actually even be the same. I think maybe they just rebranded the box or whatever. But these were the kind that I used when I needed to before my surgery, if you catch my drift. But anyway, and so I had some that I personally had bought off of eBay when they discontinued them. And so people will pay for discontinued products. If they're used to using it, if they really don't find a substitute that they're okay with, they will go. So I did it. I went on eBay and I paid a lot of money for some of these. So I didn't use them all. So I had some, and then I also picked some up at a thrift store one day. And so I made this big lot. I'll put up a picture. I have it listed for almost for $200. I expect to take offers and things like that. It's already been like a week or something. I haven't sold it yet. But keep that in mind when you're looking. So this one, because it's 2004, it is open, but it's like full. I'm thinking I'm gonna, I might only get like $25 or $30 or something like that for this box. There's only 18 in this one. But there were some interesting comps for like that style box. And so I think I saw one that was $50 for the double size box, like the 36. So it was fast and easy, and it was only 50 cents. So I grabbed it, but just keep that in mind. If there's something that that's been discontinued that you wish wasn't, sometimes, those are where you can kind of get a lead as to what might sell well. It can be cleaning products, it can be personal products, it can be makeup, things like that. Okay, another fun thing I found at a thrift store was this. I noticed this all, again, I'll put up pictures. I noticed this little stack of dishes, and whenever I look at restaurant china, when I notice that it's that heavy, thick, vitrified china that's like dinerware, you might also call it. It's always more exciting to find ones with top marks. Something that that it was used at a specific place, a specific restaurant, institution, things like that. So this has the mark for the United States Forest Service. So I did a quick look up and I was like, oh, I'm going to get that. And I think like this, yeah, here's the price. The cup and saucer was $5. There was like 3 other saucers, and they, like, the stack of those were like $3. And then there was a dinner plate for like $4 or $5 or something like that. And for that particular thrift store, those are good prices. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just grab this stack. Got home, took me a minute, realized that this cup has no Forest Service mark on it. So this technically does not even go with it. But it's okay because I have 4 saucers. And as you can see, like this one is Jackson China. This one is sterling. So they have different makers. So I'll separate them and divide them. But just saucers are going for about $25 a piece. So I have 4 of those. So I think I can make $100 just on the saucers, which usually saucers are not an easy thing to sell. It might even do better. Like this little logo top mark is a lot bigger on that one. But sometimes it might depend on age, what people are looking for. I have not delved too deeply yet. The big dinner plate, which I don't have down here, that one might actually be close to $100 as well. So we'll see. Okay, and then I thought I'd share a flatware find real quick. I'll put up a picture. I was so excited. I was at our little thrift clearance store, and just, you know, most of the time there's just loose flatware. There's nothing super, super exciting at the clearance store. But I saw 2 spoons right away, teaspoons, and they're Bancroft pattern. And that's just one of my, I've talked about it in my Flatware Friday videos before. Bancroft is by Oneida. It's from the 90s. It's just a popular pattern and it sells super easily. Okay. So I was like, oh, sweet, 2 teaspoons, grabbed them, threw them in my little basket. Then I went to the regular thrift store that was, which feeds into the clearance store. And they had put out a bunch of flatware there. And I've got this little box of flatware. And sure enough, there was a bunch of Bancroft that they had put out. So those 2 spoons somehow got separated from the bulk of the Bancroft. Most of it went to the regular store. A couple pieces slipped through to the clearance store. But I also found this other pattern. It's called American Colonial. And what's noteworthy about this is that it's Oneida as well. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's got the cube mark, which is for heirloom stainless, a kind of more expensive line of Oneida flatware that I have also talked about on Flatware Friday. I will link that video at the end of this video. So I got a bunch of that. The awesome part about that was I was just about to list 2 teaspoons. And so now I have other pieces of it that I can list at the same time. So that's great. I got Bancroft and I got some heirloom stainless at the thrift store. And that thrift store does 5 for $1, so 20 cents a piece. So that's a good price for the flatware. Now, oh, I forgot I stuck this back here. This was at Goodwill. I just wanted to share this because I think it's amazing. So paint by numbers. This one is from the 70s. I think it's from 1974. And it looks like a 70s album cover is what it looks like to me. It was not what I was expecting when I pulled it off the shelf, but it's so groovy. Anyway, here's some of the other ones that this company does, you know, kind of maybe the more typical ones that you're used to seeing. But it just like surprised me. It was so funny to like see that. I don't know why. But older paint by numbers can sell. Okay, it's usually okay to sell them. And yeah, it's got 12 cups of oil paint. So we'll see what that means. It's supposed to have the brush and everything inside. Someone on Facebook had said that there's something you can do to reactivate the paints if they're dried out, which the buyer, you know, that's up to the buyer, not me. But anyway, the other thing I wanted to say about paint by numbers, if you find a paint by number, which can sell, they can actually sell pretty well. If you find a paint by number that's already done and you want to like identify the kit that it came from, there's actually a paint by number museum website. And I did find this on there. So that's how, you know, it didn't give me any extra information because 1974 is written right on here and everything. But if you're trying to go the other way, if you don't have the box or anything like that, you can find the name of it and the year that it came out. So I just wanted to pass that tip along. Okay, so my next one, I was super excited about this. I have it in my pocket because it's little. And I'm going to put up the video right now, probably next to me, about if that's how it will work. Okay, so I was at the clearance store. I was at the bins, and as you can see in this video, I found this box of tangled sewing things, like just such a mess. But I was looking at this pin cushion, and I was like, oh, it's green. I'm like, that was kind of interesting. And as I pulled it out, I realized how tangled it was. And so then I like get down and I'm looking down at the bottom, and I can see like little pieces of like I can see sewing machine attachments, and I was like, well, let me just see if there's anything interesting. And so as you probably saw in the video, I did find a thimble. Okay, so I'll try to give you a better view of it here. So it's got moose on it. And then the other description I saw was like, oh, it's like the Northern Lights behind it. Because in that little video, I don't know if you could tell, but as I like flipped it around, I mean, I pulled it out and I was like, okay, that's guilloche enamel. And so I was like super excited already. And then when I flipped it, like even with my bad eyesight, I could see it, down in it that it said Norway. And so I was like, no way. No way, Norway. And I just cannot believe it was at the bottom of that mess. I could not believe it. So I get home, it's marked Norway, Sterling. Here's a picture of the marks at the bottom. It was marked DA for David Anderson. And so I did some quick research and I saw a few different prices for David Anderson thimbles. You know, a lot of them, the Norway Sterling thimbles just have flowers painted on them or something like that, the enamel ones. But these pictorial ones seem to have a higher value. There's a few different artists who did it. And so I started looking David Anderson and I was trying to get prices. So I finally found a few, like a reindeer one had sold for like $200 or so. And then I was like, all right, it's a moose, because you can tell by the antlers. And so I did some research. I finally found on WorthPoint like this exact one. And so I have a friend who will, because I don't have the account anymore, I have a friend who would look it up for me. And so I waited for her to be able to do that. And so then she let me know that 5 years ago, this particular thimble with this exact scene on it sold for like $425. Okay, so disclaimer, I have no idea if this is going to sell for that much now, 5 years later. So I think I'll just do the same thing I did with the figurine. I'm just going to start it kind of at a higher price and I'll just kind of see what happens. I'm not expecting this one to be such a fast sale, but you never know. Someone could have been waiting for the moose to come along because he's not as common as the reindeer. I don't know. But I just thought that was like, you know, thrifting and reselling. It's just, you just never know. You know, I'm either selling a $25 box of tampons or I'm selling a miniature piece of art for $400. So what other job could you have that is that interesting? That's what I want to know. Okay, I have to go because like I said, I have been collecting stuff up, yard sales at thrift stores, and I am so far behind in listing. It is not even funny. And so I need to get some things on there today and hopefully a bunch tomorrow as well. But we will hopefully talk to you guys sooner rather than later.